Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope everything is fantastic. Everything here, good-ish. I brought a cup of coffee with me today. When was the last time I brought coffee with me? I used to do it every show. I used to have a clear cup, and people would ask me if I was drinking stout because there would be a head on my coffee. I used a lot of insulin at that time, and for my evening coffee. And so, yeah, coffee. It's like going back a few years. Speaking of, I was going to do a show today on my shirts because I think, I don't remember who asked, but somebody asked me about my t-shirts. And I was going to shoot some footage and show you some shirts and stuff, but I'm not going to do that today. We'll probably do it tomorrow or maybe Thursday. I'm not sure yet. That is coming. But what I am going to talk about today is work. We've been talking about work over the past couple of weeks. I've been giving you updates as to what's going on with this project that I'm working on. This project that has been slated to be my project for a while now, but really hasn't been. And I have mixed feelings about it, but it is what it is at this point, and I'm not easily going to be able to escape it. So, well, you know, it is what it is. This past week, week and a half has been a bit of a nightmare for me. The person who owned the project left last year. He retired last year, but he's been working on contract, and his contract is up tomorrow, and they're no longer going to contract with him. So it's 100% me now, and this program is ginormous. Probably, I don't know if it has millions of lines of code, but it definitely has hundreds of thousands of lines of code. It might have millions of lines of code. It's ginormous, and there's a whole lot of code repetition. It's completely procedural, like 99.5% procedural. So there's just tons of code duplication and strangeness going on. But the past week, we've been trying to move our clients off of the old version for the past couple of years. He'd been working on a new version. We've been trying to move, and we got a couple of them moved last week, and there was a million problems, and I fought through all of that. And then on Sunday, this Sunday, I moved our biggest customer. Our biggest customer has 2 instances, and they use 1,000,000% of everything that's possible on the system. In fact, a lot of the stuff that exists on the system is because of them, because they asked for it. This system is at its core, it's supposed to be a ticketing system, a problem troubleshooting, a problem tracking system. That's its intent. But it has functionality for inventory control. It has functionality for project management and CRM stuff. And, I mean, it has... it does a lot. And, part of the issue with bringing these customers over, the old version used kind of handwritten code for database management. The new version uses not a plugin, but a tool that we've been using for a while now, and we had to update everything. Well, some of that stuff isn't quite right, so I have to do a whole bunch of database type stuff. And today I had to do some, table modifications on a live system. And that always makes me super nervous, but it had to be done. I couldn't take their system down and dork around with it and bring it back up for this particular change, so it just had to happen. And it was a little bit scary, but I pulled it off. And I will say that, this past week has been trial by fire. This past week has been very, very stressful. I'm very, very worn out from it, especially since... for the past couple of months, my job has been really lax. Like, I really haven't had a whole lot to do because I've been in a holding pattern waiting on this former employee to do the work that he needed to get done so that I could do my work. And now that that's done and I'm doing my work, it's back, and I'm doing my work on top of everything is on my shoulders now. 100% of this program is on my shoulders. And I was really overwhelmed. I don't think I am anymore. I think I'm okay with it. I think it's if nothing else, it's a huge puzzle. Today I had probably 6 different bug reports that I had no concept of how to fix. I didn't even know that some of those, half of those, 3 of those bug fixes were on parts of the program that I didn't even know existed. I had to go like, can you talk me through that, because I don't know what you're talking about. And I had to go solve those problems and fix them. But I got through it and I did it and it worked. Here we are. You know, I think that I said it last week. There's something to be said about trial by fire. If nothing else, it calms the nerves. If nothing else, I don't. When I get panicked, when somebody tells me that something I have done is I've done something and it's broken, I get this panicky feeling of I have to. Oh my God, I can't stop until I fix it, because it's my fault. On this system, though, I have to remember it's not necessarily my fault. Even if one of the changes that I had to make today was literally something I broke, I can still go, it's okay, like it's fine, and I can not be as angsty, or not angsty, not have as much anxiety about it, because having the anxiety makes it much more difficult to solve the problem correctly. Having the anxiety means I want to just bang out a quick solution, and often my off-the-cuff quick solution, while it would fix it in the moment, it might make things significantly worse down the line, or it might break it for everybody else. I made a change the other day that fixed it for one client and broke it for almost everybody else. And that's just because I was anxious in the moment. I had somebody telling me that this part was broken and I had to fix it, and I couldn't fix it. I couldn't figure out how to fix it, and it took me a while. But I've only got a couple of clients left on the old version that I can move, and I think that this time, one of the ones that I moved on Sunday, we had moved them like probably more than a year ago, so that we could test some of the new parts that they were using, and I did not completely migrate them this time. Usually that means a full database move, running a bunch of scripts that update all their tables. I didn't do that. I just did kind of a half refresh this time, and it worked. There were some problems, but it worked. So that gives me the confidence that these next couple of clients, I can probably pre-move them, work and work and work to make sure that I can't find any errors, and then tell them that I'm going to move them. Instead of doing it, what I would be doing normally was telling a client, like, tonight I'm going to move you to our newest version, and they'd go, okay, and then I shut everything down, move them, and then tomorrow we get to find the problems together. I think this time I'll be able to move, do a whole bunch of testing for a week or two before I decide to actually tell them I'm going to move you, and then I can move them over. So hopefully I can do that in the future. It's been stressful. It's been very, very, very stressful. But I'm okay. I'm here on the other side. It's working. If nothing else, the clients, they email me that they're happy when I fix their problems, and they seem to think that I'm doing something magnificent. So I'm going to keep trying to do something magnificent, because anything else is just giving up, and I don't like quitting. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for being here, as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends, wonderful people. Thank you to all my programmer friends for the support on this, because I think we all know how difficult it can be to own somebody else's project. I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is exhort. It is a verb meaning to urge or advise earnestly. The function of the moralist is not to exhort men to be good, but to elucidate what the good is. Walter Lippmann, an American journalist. Exhort. E-X-H-O-R-T. Exhortin' here's a who. That's the dumbest response I have.